Hello, everyone, and welcome back. These times we live in require me to delve a little bit from our usual look back at history because once again, there's something that has occurred that is just very troubling to me, and I feel like I need to discuss it. And this is my way of discussing things, and I'm not going to do the usual intro because I feel that would be disrespectful to the deceased. And I don't want to do a bunch of self promotion. But 2 nights ago, on Tuesday night, I came across a video that disturbed me greatly. It was a young man in Georgia. He was running down the street. He was jogging. And you could see that there was a car up ahead of this car that was chasing behind. And the truck parked in a way to try to cut the gentleman off. And two gentlemen in the truck, one in the bed and another on the driver's side, got out, and they shot and killed this man in the back of the head. It was horrific. And instead of these people being in jail and charged with murder, I was even more shocked to find out that they had not been. And that this did not occur on Tuesday. And maybe a week ago. No, this occurred back on February 23rd. Nearly 60 days ago. The young man's name was Ahmaud Arbery. He lived in Brunswick, Georgia. He was 25, and he was just going out for a job. And two racist assholes believed, because they saw him stop in front of a house and that he was a black man in their neighborhood, that he must be robbing somebody. And they chased him down and they murdered him. Now, they're trying to use the citizen's arrest self-defense strategy, which in my opinion is baloney. They were the instigators. I'm sorry, but when you chase someone in a vehicle and get out brandishing a shotgun, it's a pretty aggressive act when all they have on is exercise clothes and were just jogging. And I've seen some people say, I've read also in places that, well, they were just trying to stop him and get him to talk. He doesn't have to stop and talk to them. They're two ordinary citizens. They're not law enforcement. They're average citizens. And I'm sorry, but in the South, and I can speak of this because I live in the South and have lived here my whole life, and have read a lot about what occurred in the South in the past, and unfortunately apparently still occurs. Sometimes African Americans would be told to get in a car or to stop by just random citizens brandishing a gun or claiming to be law enforcement when they really weren't. And it had a very violent outcome. One of the more frightening things I've ever heard is in Robert Caro's masterful work, Master of a Senate, which really focuses on the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1957. There's a scene that is painted where a black man was just shot in broad daylight in Jackson, Mississippi. And the person got away with it. And I thought, when I heard that, because I listened to the audiobook, I said, that's horrible. That's a horrible part of our past. But thankfully, that could never occur in today's America. Well, for 60 days it has. Now, I must say, his family has done a great job this week getting the word out, organizing, and rallying people to demand justice. And the case has been sent to the grand jury. I understand that Georgia does not have an investigative grand jury, though, so they will not be able to subpoena records, they will not be able to call witnesses, and they will only be able to go with what evidence is presented to them. But the governor of Georgia has sent the GBI to investigate, and from multiple sources I've read and heard, he's a top-notch professional. And there seems to be universal condemnation of these two gentlemen that committed this act of murder. But it's very disheartening, to say the least, that it occurred. And even more shocking that it did not result in, if not an immediate arrest within a couple of days. But it was on February 23rd that this occurred. There's video of it. And that's the part that has me just blown away. And unfortunately, I saw an unedited video. I saw this man die in the video. It's just horrific. And I'm having a lot of trouble erasing that image from my mind. And if you're like me, you wonder, what can I do? Well, apparently, I watched a video from an Atlanta news station, and there is something you can do. Apparently, tomorrow is this gentleman's birthday. He was born on Mother's Day, 1994, and if you want to help, you can go tomorrow and run 2.23 miles, which is in remembrance of the day that he was murdered, and use the hashtag #RunWithMaud. Well, I'm not a big runner. It looks funky when I run. It's quite amusing to people. So I will probably go for a walk tomorrow evening and use the hashtag #RunWithMaud. Although, just between us, I won't be running. No one needs to see that. But this is a troubling time for our country and our nation, and that something like this could occur in 2020 is just absolutely appalling. I'll see you all tomorrow, probably with some sore feet. Goodbye.